I'm not a good person. In fact, this is the only good thing I've ever done, and I did it by accident.
Why do we romanticize Bojack Horseman? I mean, he's objectively a terrible person. He sabotages everyone who cares about him. He's a narcissist. He hurts people constantly. And yet millions of viewers relate to him, defend him, even see themselves in him. There's something deeply wrong with that. Or is there? The thing about Bojack that makes him so dangerously appealing is how the show presents his brokenness as almost beautiful. The melancholic music, the stunning visuals, the poetic dialogue, it all makes suffering look profound. And we eat it up. Because Bojack's depression doesn't just look real, it looks meaningful. Like all his pain is leading somewhere. Like it means something to be that damaged. Romanticizing Bojack is actually a way of romanticizing our own dysfunction. In Stupid Piece of Shit, we hear Bojack's internal monologue. He's constantly telling himself he's worthless, that he ruins everything, that he's a stupid piece of garbage. And the episode frames this as this tragically relatable thing. Millions of people watched that and went, "Oh my God, that's me. That's exactly what my brain sounds like." And sure, it's validating to see your pain reflected back at you, but there's a problem. The show makes Bojack's self-hatred look poetic. It makes it look deep. It turns mental illness into an aesthetic. This is what happens in a lot of media about depression. Think about how many sad girl indie movies there are where being depressed looks artsy and profound. Think about how Tumblr in the 2010s turned mental illness into an entire aesthetic. Sad quotes over dark images, romanticizing cigarettes and sleepless nights. Bojack does something similar, just more sophisticated. The show is gorgeous. The writing is brilliant. And all that beauty gets wrapped around Bojack's misery until you can't separate the two. His pain becomes inseparable from what makes him interesting. And that's dangerous, because it makes you think your pain makes you interesting too. In Taxi Driver, Travis Bickle's isolation is filmed beautifully. The neon lights, the rain-soaked streets, the jazz score. But the movie isn't asking you to be like Travis. It's showing you how loneliness destroys someone. Bojack does something different. It shows you the destruction, yeah, but it also shows you Bojack having these profound moments of clarity. These beautiful, vulnerable conversations. These glimpses of depth. And you start thinking, maybe if I'm broken like Bojack, I'm also deep like Bojack. Maybe my suffering means I see the world more clearly. Maybe being a mess makes me more real, more authentic than everyone else who has their shit together. That's the trap. We romanticize Bojack because he gives us permission to romanticize ourselves. He makes dysfunction look like depth. He makes self-destruction look like self-awareness. And the show is so honest about his flaws that it feels like it's not romanticizing him, but it absolutely is. Every episode is beautifully shot. Every breakdown has the perfect song. Every moment of despair is framed like art. The show tells you Bojack is terrible, but it shows you that being terrible can still be beautiful. Look at how many video essays exist analyzing Bojack's philosophy, Bojack's trauma, Bojack's complexity. We treat him like a tragic figure in a Greek play instead of what he actually is. A self-absorbed alcoholic who refuses to change until the last possible moment. We write analysis videos about his existential crisis instead of acknowledging that his crisis doesn't excuse his behavior. And we do this because analyzing him makes us feel smarter. It makes our own issues feel more complex and worthy of analysis. If Bojack's mess is profound, maybe our mess is profound too. But here's what the show actually gets right, especially in the later seasons. Bojack's pain doesn't make him special. It doesn't give him depth. It's just pain, and it's hurting everyone around him. The show slowly stops romanticizing him. In season 6, when he hits rock bottom, there's no beautiful music. There's no poetic montage. It's just ugly and sad and pathetic. The show finally stops making his suffering look meaningful and shows it for what it is, destructive and pointless. The problem is most people stop watching before they get there. or they ignore that part. We romanticize Bojack because he lets us believe that being broken is the same as being real. That suffering makes you deep. That dysfunction is just another form of authenticity. But it's not. Pain is just pain. And recognizing that might be the first step to actually dealing with it instead of turning it into an identity.
Not understanding that you're a horrible person doesn't make you less of a horrible person.